Visiting a food market in London dates back over 1,000 years, and as someone who's lived here for 20 of them, remains one of my favourite inexpensive things to do in the city. So in this video, I want to share with you my top 10 favourite food markets, and I can guarantee that there'll be at least one place here that you haven't heard of and should definitely check out. Now, whilst the food offered across all these markets covers the best of international and locally sourced cuisine, I find it's always the venue itself that makes each experience so unique and exciting. So with that in mind, be on the lookout for dining by the canal, inside a church, along a railway, surrounded by plants, alongside the Thames, under a roof sheltering you from the British weather, and eating with Hugh Grant. If you're new here, then welcome. We make travel movies from around the world, as well as our hometown of London, hoping you might just find your next holiday inspiration. This is Suitcase Monkey, sharing our must-visit food markets in London. This video is sponsored by Surfshark VPN. Let's begin with my third favourite market on this list, and that is Camden. And that's not only because of the food market itself, but because of the exploring you can do alongside its canal routes. More on that later. Dating back to 1974, Camden Market was, and still is today, a mecca for trendy trading, with music and fashion shining through. This explains then why Camden was the location for a shop owned by the one and only Prince in the 1990s. By Prince in the 1990s. Nowadays it's home to a life-size statue of Amy Winehouse, which is adjacent to the Lock Tavern, the venue for some of her early gigs. The market itself is quite spread out, so I'd suggest starting from the famous footbridge and then moving down inside to the food stalls. Almost every type of food you can imagine is here, but it's worth continuing towards the Winehouse statue and not just settling for the first thing you see, as we tend to find the best stalls further back. I've linked all markets featured in this video in the description below, so do check those out for more information on each. Now, if it is raining and you're without an umbrella, definitely check out this street. Not only will it keep you dry, but it's super picturesque and crammed with cool independent shops. Once you've got your food, the best place to get away from the crowds is walking east along the canal. This newly constructed area gives a lot more breathing space, as well as additional food options, but is also a great place to sit and relax with your chosen dish. Walking in the opposite direction, west along the canal, will carry you to Regent's Park and is a lovely walk also. If you are on this route, I'd recommend St Mark's Church, which usually has a little outside coffee shop, perfect for a short pit stop. A new cat on the block not far from Bond Street is Mercato Mayfair. Deconsecrated in 1974, this church has now become home to a sprawling modern food hall, split over 4 floors. So, where you might once have prayed to God, you might now find yourself ordering a gin, which, to some, is a very similar experience. The church is a Grade 1 listed building and is part of a £5 million project that's restored the church to its original glory. The main 2 floors are where most of the action is, and I strongly recommend the gelato stand, which offers these tasty ice cream bars. But also, and because it's not very well signposted, do make sure you check out the basement floor, which reveals this hidden wine cellar, and the top floor, which then takes you outside onto the rooftop terrace. This is the place to go if you want to feel like the cool kid in front of your friends. Look closely at these 2 people. Can you spot the difference? They might look similar on the outside, but the reality is that the guy on the right is protecting his online activities with Surfshark VPN. The guy on the right is able to join public Wi-Fi networks as he travels to hotels, cafes, and airports. That's because Surfshark VPN shields your web browsing activity by encrypting all data sent between your device and the internet. This not only protects your information from cybercriminals, but also big companies that build online profiles of you, which they can sell on to advertisers. The guy on the right is also able to spoof his location to any one of 65 different countries. This means that at the push of a button, he can be watching streaming services as they would appear in another continent, massively opening up what's available to watch both at home and whilst travelling. And with a 30-day money-back guarantee, there's no reason not to be more like the guy on the right. Try Surfshark VPN today for 83% off and 3 months free. Just use the promo code SUITCASE via the link on screen or in the description below. Please note that being the guy on the right is a metaphor, of course. Please be your own person, but do so whilst trying Surfshark VPN. Maltby Street Market is the smallest, most local option on this list, and great if you're looking for somewhere more cosy. Opening in 2010, it's a 15-minute walk from London Bridge Station. 1836 saw this quiet area in Bermondsey ripped apart by the construction of the world's first elevated train line. Connecting Greenwich to the city, this viaduct now acts as the spine that all food markets feed from, but also the roof for its shops and restaurants, all which give it a unique vibe. The main street, called the Rope Walk, barely stretches 400 feet, but offers a strong dose of delicious food that will slow you down as you meander through. One trader I would definitely recommend is La Pepia, a Venezuelan kitchen that cooked us their main dish, arepa. This Venezuelan staple contains a variety of meats and vegetables with their signature melted cheese on top. Very messy to eat, but incredibly tasty. Whilst we're in the London Bridge area, just a quick honourable mention to Vinegar Yard, which is a great choice for a summer's drink. Several independent food traders all surround this wide open space, and personally I always go for the Nanny Bill's burger and croquettes, which are both excellent despite their heart attack status. Not far from the more traditional Borough Market, Vinegar Yard offers a more contemporary, youthful option, and since I'm down with the kids, suits itself for a night out or a lunch with drinks. Next up is the best option on this list if it's a cold and wet, miserable London day. That's because all of Sevendale's Market is indoors and under one roof. It's a chic, multi-level food court with dozens of micro-restaurants, stalls and bars. Opening in the summer of 2019, this ex-banana warehouse is the youngest place on this list. For those of you who've watched our unique London dining video, which I'll link at the end, this is also the location for Pick and Cheese. Now for anyone who missed that, this place is an absolute must, being that it's the world's first cheese conveyor belt restaurant. When you head downstairs, this is where the food court opens up, as you're surrounded by a multitude of flavours with canteen-like seating in the centre. One of the benefits of this place is that it's the most central market in London, so it's an easy way to sample lots of different food types during the winter months. Portobello Road Market is one of London's most famous. With its history stretching back 150 years, this is the city's original antiques market with plenty of bric-a-brac, fashion, food and bookshops. You can easily make this trip last 2+ hours, and the route I'd suggest is to start from Notting Hill Gate Station and then walk north towards Ladbroke Grove. Walking this route along Portobello Road starts with independent shops before making its way into the Antiques main event and then ending with a plethora of food markets going all the way to Golborne Road. Around the area you'll also be treated to a number of colourful houses where you can insta-pose for hours, which I'm sure pleases its residents greatly as you model on their front porch. We are also in Julia Roberts, Hugh Grant, Notting Hill territory. So be on the lookout for the famous front door of William Thacker, which is a must visit if you're a fan. And if you're not a fan, then it's just a blue door and is probably worth skipping. Similarly, the bookshop inspiration for the movie is well worth a visit, but other ones I'd suggest are Books for Cooks and Lutyens and Rubinstein, which are both just around the corner. There's also the Biscuiteers shop, which is excellent for ice biscuit souvenirs, and if you don't believe me, then just ask my mother. Situated in the trendy East End of London, Spitalfields Market is a mixture of independent stalls, chain restaurants and pubs, and is probably joint first as my favourite London market. There's just so much variety here that I defy anyone not to find something to their liking. part food, part shopping, Spitalfields takes its name from the hospital and priory St Mary's Spital that was founded in 1197. One thing I really like about it is that although it's undercover for the sake of rain, it still feels like an outside market, so is a great airy option year-round. It's also one of the most comfortable markets you'll find, feeling clean and bright. One of my favourite stalls here is the Indigo Rasoi, which not only do great chili chips, but this samosa dish is always full of flavour and probably my favourite serving in this entire video. What also makes Spitalfields unique is that surrounding all the usual markets are a bunch of cool bricks and mortar shops, both inside and out the main square. The Grocer is a good pub with comfy outdoor sofas, and the Gun does some excellent pub grub also. Now, this next one is slightly left field since it isn't a food market, but I'll include it anyway as we enjoy it so much and we always end up ordering some food here anyway. So check out Columbia Road Flower Market for something local and unique. Out of everything on this list, it has the most old school, traditional London market vibes to it, with lots of grown adults shouting flower names and prices at you.
Come round in for dried flowers.
I really love the energy of this place, and we usually just wander up and down the street, soaking in the atmosphere. Then there are numerous shops and cafes to grab your attention. An easy recommendation if you want something different. So I covered Borough Market as one of the general to-dos in my 5 days in London video, as it is a must visit and my other joint favourite market on here. This is London's oldest food market, dating back 1,000 years. The location of Borough Market is no coincidence, being that it sits in close proximity to London Bridge. This area of passing was the first to cross the Thames, massively opening up business in the south, and was thus a magnet for traders. That history means that you're in good hands on arrival and is largely its biggest selling point. You can really feel the history and experience in this place. Many of the traders here are the producers themselves, the farmers who reared the animal, the fishermen who caught the fish, the baker who baked the bread. For anyone who's seen the aforementioned Unique London Dining video, this is also the location for the Rabou London restaurant, the one where chocolate was incorporated into every single dish. And fun fact, right opposite that is the Globe Tavern, which is the home and front door to Bridget Jones. So do make sure you say hello. Greenwich Market fits the town itself perfectly, and for those keeping score, is my fourth favourite London market. There's been a food market in this area since 1737, but it's now spread out towards the Thames and the Cutty Sark. Following the success of Camden Market, Greenwich saw arts and crafts move into this space in the mid-80s, and it's still a great destination for unique handmade gifts. I've recently discovered the brilliantly titled Pimp My Ramen stall, which has these excellent pulled pork burgers, but with the ramen as the bun, which works really surprisingly well. Don't also forget to check out the many streets that dart off from the central market, taking you to the vintage market, but also a bunch of great cafes such as Peyton and Burn and Monsoon Cafe, both of which do a great selection of cakes and coffee. As mentioned with Camden, I find it's best here to grab some food in the main market and then walk towards the water, as you have much more space to enjoy your food. An honourable mention should also go to Brick Lane Market, which I just didn't have enough footage from to include here. But this is a long, vibrant street in the East End of London and is definitely worth a visit if you're in the area. Thanks again to Surfshark for sponsoring this video and keeping this channel alive. Enter promo code SUITCASE for 83% off and get 3 months free at the link below. Follow us on all the usual socials where I post our food discoveries as and when they happen, and I've created this playlist here which links unique London dining, brunch suggestions and more outrageous shenanigans. If you've gotten this far, then please leave a thumbs up and let us know your thoughts on the markets featured here. This also helps the channel continue to grow as it shares us to newer viewers who aren't as fortunate as your good selves. Until the next one, thanks for watching, Suitcase Monkey.